Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Tiny Word Project podcast. Today we have Matt Williamson on.
Matt is the owner of One More Rep Gym in Gosford. So we're talking to him about the gym, how he's been impacted while being closed, him training athletes, and how he's staying creative during these times.
Matt's word is focus. Find out more on why he chose focus in this podcast. Enjoy. Matt, thank you so much for joining us on the Tiny Word Project podcast. How are you doing today, man?
Yeah, man, I'm really good. I'm embracing the lockdown life, making little changes here with the business. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. For the people at home listening and watching, of course, we know what you do and who you are, as you're a friend and also a client of the private studio. But for those people that don't know who you are, what do you do, man?
Pretty much what I'm most noted for is running a strength and conditioning business. I run a gym out in Gosford called One More Rep Personal Training or Performance Training, and I'm doing that for 5 years. Basically, I did a degree at uni in exercise science, and then I started my business while I was studying, and now I train everything from national, international level athletes all the way down just to people with injuries and everything in between.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive. And I tell you what, you do from personal experience have a worth of knowledge, as I've been through with you a couple of times for the personal training and stuff like that. And you just know when someone knows their shit, and you definitely know your shit.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
So we take our hats off to you for what you've done and where you've gone with your education and what you're doing with One More Rep and all that kind of stuff too. So. Yeah,
cheers, dude. Cheers.
Yeah, sick. So how have you been finding all of these new changes and stuff with all the new rules and laws and that sort of thing that are out at the moment with this whole quarantine lockdown thing? Have you had to change much or?
Yeah, look, it's really, really tough, man. Like, I'm really fortunate, obviously running a private gym. I don't run a big gym. We have about approximately 40 members, and then my business will see maybe 50 one-on-ones a week. We split that between myself and another coach who works for me. So we'd get to know people pretty intimately. So when we went into lockdown, we actually had an outpour of people being like, whatever you need, just let us know. But I was actually tipped off a client in here, his wife, she works high up in a corporate position, and her CEO met with someone in Parliament. And straight after the meeting, it's about a week before lockdown, they got told they had to put an 8-week strategy together for a lockdown Australia. And she gave me a buzz and let me know that, look, we wouldn't be wasting time on this unless this was serious. So I got to work. I started prepping a program for online. And then once it was announced on the Sunday in the afternoon, I was on Instagram at 4:30, ahead of the curve with a big plan ready to go. Just on like what we do for community, what we do for mental health, what we do for training, what we do for nutrition. And yeah, about 100 people signed up for it at $20 a week, and that's what's paying all the bills and keeping the dream alive.
That's good, man. That's such an incentive. Where am I going with this? Innovating. You definitely. It's so inspiring to see that, especially in this time, that you have been directly hit so heavily compared to other businesses, as I guess that. Because you can't do the group training and all that kind of stuff as well, like even just run your gym as per regularly. You've adapted so well and so quickly to this, and that's really cool to see, man. That leads us to kind of a next question and where we're going with it, like how you're dealing really well with it, and how are you staying positive during this time? Are you of course, developing more things to grow the business or grow yourself, or just maintain what you have now?
Yeah. So actually it's been a really crazy time. An absolute roller coaster of emotions on my part, because I started this business in 2015. I left a medical imaging degree and was like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to work with athletes since I was like in year 10, 11. I chose PE and biology at school, and I just diverted the course a bit to do like this medical imaging degree, which I thought like 3 years would be a piece of cake and great job. And about a year and a half in, I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to do exercise science. I want to run a gym. I want to be a strength conditioning coach. And so pretty much when I started the business, I've worked constantly, anywhere between 40 and 60 hours a week, getting my degree, building my business. And until this 4-week lockdown, I've never actually paused to take a moment and think, all right, what would I actually like to do in the future? I've had ideas here and there, but like they're more like shower thoughts, like, oh, I'd love to build an online business. But the next day I get up and train 8 people and run 2 classes and I'm exhausted. And so what I've been doing is with this time is like, okay, I'm forced to rest. Government's helping me out with the business. So what do I really want to do going forward? And I've just been working heaps and heaps on background stuff, on admin stuff. We're actually in the process of renovating the gym right now. And me and the other coach, we're just trying to find the type of clients we 100% want to work with, and maybe the clients that we don't want to work with in the future, not because there's anything wrong with them, but maybe we're just becoming a little bit more niche, a little bit more specialized. So that's filling my time, and that's all you can do.
No, that's cool, man. That's really cool. I guess we can definitely relate on that as well and understand that. And that's really cool to keep moving forward that way during this time. And of course, it's such I was thinking about this morning how there's a lot of pros and cons to what's been happening during this time. And I guess we kept falling on this topic because this is the hot topic of what's going on out of the lockdown. And I'm sure as we progress and talk to more people, the topics will change. But it's so relatable now. But I was just thinking this morning about how many pros and cons there are. You've got, the pros of being able to be backed into the corner so then you can start those things that you've always wanted to start and you kind of have no other choice. And I guess the cons are like you can't continue to run your own business and run the same thing there as well.
Yeah, that's it. It was the pause I needed. Like like all the things that we're implementing now, I always wanted to do. And, you ask my partner, Nicole, she's like, yeah, you've been talking about this for years. But, with a 60-hour work schedule, like, where are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And even like when I go on holidays, I'm like, no, I'm on holiday, so I'm not going to work. So I won't work for 2 weeks. And then as soon as I'm back, I'm like, oh shit, I got to get back to work. There was never that opportunity to change the business. So I've taken it in my stride, and that's what I recommend everyone does.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's definitely one of those things. I think that everyone always wants more time, and it's always hard to get time. And I think this is really where businesses will flourish if they want it. Like if you really want to grow it and you've got all the time in the world to really focus on those things you want to do, this is the time that those businesses who act on that will skyrocket and really take over. Because it's the people who sit in the background feeling sorry for themselves, they're the ones that are eventually going to get left behind, unfortunately, because everyone else is moving forward. So you've really got to try and find those things to build everything up. And the people who survive will have a real stronghold on the market. Like I can only speak to the fitness industry, but like I can see the coaches who I always really well respected. I can see how they're adapting, and then coaches who I like just don't know really that well, or like their name isn't really out there yet. I can see that they're just sat back. I'm like, you guys are just going to struggle, because there's people who are doing stuff now, keeping people active and still doing their jobs despite maybe even having no income. They're the people who are going to get the first call when gyms are open. So you're totally right.
That's really cool, man. And just to move a little bit away from this current situation, but talking about in a similar topic is, have you ever dealt with any kind of things like this personally before, and how you noticed more of a mental growth with what you're going through now, like within yourself personally, if that makes sense? Yeah.
So like I face challenge 100%. Like running a small business is super challenging, and also hindsight's 2020. I started my business in my garage, and I coached people out of there. Then I went straight from my garage to opening my first gym, and then I upgraded that gym to the gym I'm in now, and it's even bigger. The thing is, I never actually worked in a gym. I've never worked in someone else's gym a day in my life. So hindsight now, 2020, I can see a lot of things I did online where I'm like, if I'd worked in someone else's gym, I would have learned that. So I've definitely been through that battle where I've tried something for months and it just hasn't taken off. It hasn't worked. And I've had to find a way to overcome that. So after 5 years of running the business, this coronavirus was just another hurdle, but it wasn't big enough to defeat the business. So I've definitely been through it. But usually it's self-inflicted. This is the first time completely out of my control that something's come on.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah. Have you noticed a good response from your clients and that sort of thing with the changes you've made or the different things you've implemented, or are people sort of a bit hesitant with everything that's going on?
Yeah, so it's a real mixed bag, as it always is, working with a decent sized population. The first thing we noticed 100% is that everyone was on board. Like even ex-clients and ex-members who had moved away gave me a call and said, look, sign me up for the online. So initially people were just great human beings and were super supportive. But in the first 2 weeks of the online, I felt a lot of people weren't taking it too well. Yeah, they come in here, they're chasing numbers, they're lifting big weights, they're following their programs, and we were in a really good place in February and for training for everyone. And then suddenly I'm like, hey, take all that stuff you were just doing and now apply it to a household item. Instead of doing squats with 150 to 200 kilos that we got in the gym with these fancy powerlifting plates, now I want you to do 30 reps with an item you can hold in your arms. People just didn't take to it too well. And motivation, like all I did all day, every day, was just answer people's questions on motivation. But come week 3, and we just ended week 4 of this lockdown, people have turned a corner. I think people have moved into the acceptance phase of this is what life is right now. And, put up or shut up really is the attitude. And a lot of my clients, when I'm speaking to them, they're just saying, we have daily check-ins. They're just like, yeah, we are training now. We are giving them a go. And people have really turned a corner in this 4th week, which has been really interesting. First 2 weeks, not everyone was really reciprocating to our training, but in weeks 3 and 4, they thought, you know what? Yeah, look, this is life. Matt's given us the best he can. Let's just make the most of it.
Sweet. So how did you coach people out of that being unmotivated and that sort of thing? Is that something that you found easy to try and help people with and teach people? Or was that sort of more of just a wait it out and wait for people to get sort of used to it and accustomed to what's going on?
Yeah. Look, motivation science is a big part of coaching, but unfortunately it's not an area I'm very well versed in, purely because I have a gym, as I said, in North Gosford. It's an industrial park. When I started my business, I started out of my garage. I've never had foot traffic. I've never had people walk past and think, hey, that's a cool place to train. I'll walk in and sign up. That is literally in 5 years never ever happened. People have sought me out because they've heard that my training methods and my approach is really good. Yeah, similar to Nick, he's like, I heard this guy's quite good. I'll reach out, and me and Nick trained for a while. And the point is, people who come to me are already motivated. So to have people now suddenly not motivated, I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to start, reading up and doing some research on what I can do to help motivate these people. But the thing with the exercise science, I'd love to say it's really fancy and I'm super smart, but the simple things always work. Like the basics always work. So I just said to people, the basics you can do is 1, find someone who to do it with. You're not going to dog a friend if you know they're waiting for you at Adcock Park at 7 a.m. You're not going to lay in bed knowing your mate's down there. So I said, get an accountability buddy. And the other one is a lot of people don't like to train from home. When I had my gym in my house, I still went to Anytime Fitness just because psychologically, that's where I relax. That's where I watch TV. That's where I hang out with my partner. That's where I pound my dog, and I just don't really train at home. And I said to a lot of people, go out and have a place, have a corner of your local oval where you do your workout. And the only thing you do there is work out. And that worked really well for people. People said, you know what, I'm going to do that. And then the final thing was just set a random goal. So most of the people in here are here for strength training. So I just said, why don't you just start working on your 3-kilometer run times? And because it was different, it was exciting, it was new, and that helped a lot of people with motivation as well.
That's one thing I noticed about on the social media, especially when you first started. You implemented those little goals for people to achieve and those little challenges to people that can do that. And correct me if I'm wrong, have you started a push-up challenge? Is that correct?
Yeah. So we did a push-up challenge on Sunday. So you got to do 5 on your knees, and then straight away, that's level 1. Then level 2 is 5 on your toes. And then level 3 is 5 on a decline. So your feet are elevated up and you're pointing downwards. Then it's 5 clap push-ups, and then it's 5 handstand push-ups. I think we've had 2 people make it to the end of level 5. I got to 2 reps into level 5 and then I failed. So yeah, that's a little challenge we got going.
Man, that's really cool. And that's another innovating way that you've kept your clients engaged, really. That's really cool, man. That's really, really cool. And that can just play in, as you were just saying before, about creating those little places in your mind for motivation is just challenge yourself, put those little challenges in there so that you can keep pushing forward no matter what. I guess you're in your fitness kind of world, but also in your personal world as well, with whatever you're doing. But that's really cool, man. That's really cool. Are you still running that push-up challenge?
Yeah, man, it's an open-ended challenge. You can do it anytime, give it a go.
Yeah, cool.
I think I had someone tag me in just before I came on. They gave it a go. I think they got 2 reps into level 5 as well. So yeah, so give it a go at the Savo. I want to see.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Yeah, man, this is fun. This is real good. As we said to you personally, this is just only a small little podcast, a small little chats and stuff like that. So we might wrap it up there. But dude, let's leave you with this. As we are all about those small words that provide value to other people and mean what is one small word that means a lot to you that also can mean a lot to someone else to inspire them for the better, and why?
My word is focus. Both the word and the anagram, FOCUS, follow one course until successful. That's my thing, especially like I can only speak to the fitness industry, but I see a lot of people starting personal training gigs and then just canning it after a while. They realize 6 months in, they've still only got, 15, 20 sessions, and that's just like a week, and that's just the game. That's the way it is. And you just need to stick it out. And like any small business, 90% fail in 3 years, 95% fail in 5 years. But if you focus and follow your one course and just continuously adapt, you will make it to wherever you want to go. It's about staying the course. And that's what I did. I started in my garage, I moved to gym 1, and now I'm in gym 2. I'm 5 years in, and probably until 2 years ago, I didn't really make, more than $1,000 a week, a regular salary. But there's 3 years of work behind that. There's a 3-year uni degree, and there's 10 years of training experience. It's just all about focus. Whatever you want to do, you just focus and follow that course, and one day you'll be successful.
That's valuable, man. That's really good, and I'm sure that's going to be very valuable to the listeners and people watching this podcast. Anything you want to add with Jacob?
Not that I can think of. I think we covered quite a lot.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, Matt. Seriously,
my pleasure, man.
Really appreciate it, and we've got to be really good at this. Where can we find you at? We already know where you are. We already know where you are.
Yeah.
To the people that are listening and watching, where can they find you at?
The best place to go, if you head over to Instagram, go to One More Rep Performance Training. It's our Instagram handle. And from there, you'll see a lot of my face, and you'll see a lot of my clients, my athletes training. Our stories, we're always putting up people working out and putting up as many gym tips as we can. We got our website on the bio. You can find us there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, man. We'll speak to you very soon.
No worries, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Cheers, bro. Bye.